Hi, my name is Darrell Porter. I'm a digital marketing specialist here at Revelet Sales. And today we're going to talk about exposure and the manual settings on your camera. Many new photographers begin honing their skills by using the camera's automatic settings. Understanding the various manual settings can be quite complicated, but it's a surefire way to get moving from automatic to manual. Shooting in manual will give you much more control over your images and allow you to adjust to your shooting environment. So let's take a peek at ISO, aperture, and shutter speed and get you shooting in manual mode. Adjusting the aperture on your camera reflects the amount of light that's let into your lens and therefore affects the overall exposure of the shot. Aperture is measured in f-stops. The lower the f-stop, the larger the opening in the lens. Aperture also affects the depth of field. A 2.8 f-stop will not only allow more light into the lens, it'll create a shallower depth of field. What this basically means is that if you're taking a portrait and desire a blurry background, a lower f-stop might be in order. If you're taking a scenic shot, a higher f-stop would be in order to make sure that your entire image is in focus. Shutter speed determines the amount of time that a camera's shutter is open and exposed to light, and it's measured in fractions of seconds. A shutter speed of 1 would mean that the camera's shutter is open for 1 complete second. A shutter speed of 2000 would mean that the camera's shutter is open for 1/2000th of a second. Fast shutter speed is essential when shooting sporting events or anytime you'd like to freeze an image. A slower shutter speed may be ideal when you'd like to show motion or capture slow-moving water or something like that. In the simplest of terms, the ISO setting on your camera will determine how light or how dark your image is. A higher ISO will result in a lighter image. A lower ISO will result in a darker image. Unfortunately, increasing the ISO also adds unwanted grain or noise to your image. Therefore, it's imperative that you try and adjust the aperture or the shutter speed to lighten your image instead of raising the ISO. It's important to understand that ISO, shutter speed, and aperture all work together to produce a final image. It's not uncommon to have to adjust all three in order to get the proper exposure. Practice on your different settings, shooting environments, and take lots of photos and you'll be on your way to shooting in manual in no time. For Revelet Sales, I'm Darrell Porter. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms or visit us at www.reveletsales.com.